My name's Jane Howroyd. I'm a creative workshop facilitator and I do all sorts of different creative workshops, including textiles, art, crafts and mindfulness. And in this video I'm partnering with Woven in Kirklees to deliver some mindful activities around textiles. I really love textiles and I love the feel of them, I love wearing them, and I also love making them. And for this, the main part of this activity, we're going to use our senses to look at textiles in a different way. So what I'd like you to do, if you'd like to take part in the activity and follow along, is to find a textile that you might like. So it might be something that you've had for ages. It might be a vintage piece that you really love, that you found or got given or inherited. It might be something that you've made yourself that you'd really like to maybe spend time looking at, that gives you pleasure to look at already. It might be something that you enjoy wearing that has, nice textures, something you enjoy feeling and touching and handling. Or it might be something that, normally when you're going out you'd wear every day, maybe a scarf or something like that. The choice is completely up to you. If you do want to follow the activity, this is probably a good point to pause the video and go and find yourself something that you could use as a textile for this mindful activity. Okay, so I hope you've had a chance to go and get something. If you just put it to one side for now, what we'll do, we'll use that in the second part of the exercise. What I'd like to do first is to share a breathing, mindful breathing technique with you, just to get us into the present moment, into the now. So with this, what you need to do, you need to find somewhere comfortable to sit. So that might be on a chair, it might be on the floor. So if you're in a chair, make sure that your back's straight and that your feet are comfortable and flat on the floor. If you choose to sit, try to sit on the floor in an upright, comfortable position. You can rest your arms and hands on your knees, or you can put them in your lap with your hands clasped, with your left hand clasping your right and your thumbs touching. And then if it feels comfortable for you, then try to close your eyes or to lower your gaze. So take a few moments to get yourself feeling comfortable and in an upright position, and then spend some time seeing what sensations you can feel in your body right now. So starting with your head, see if you can feel any areas of clenching or tension. See if you can let those areas go and relax them. Then moving down to your neck, your shoulders. See if you can see any areas there where you might want to see if there's any areas of tension. It's okay if you don't feel anything, but if you do, see if you can allow them to relax and become soft. And see if you can see anything or feel anything in your arms and your hands. Then down through your stomach and your chest. See if you can feel any areas there where you can feel any tension. And moving down into your legs, into your feet. See if there's anywhere that feels tense, anywhere where you can just allow it to soften, to relax. Then feeling the air around you. Can you feel the sensation of the air around you? Is it warm? Is it cold? Can you feel it on your skin? And now coming to notice your breath. So try to notice your breath where it's strongest for you right now. So that might be with your mouth as you breathe, your nostrils, maybe in your chest, your stomach, whichever feels strongest for you right now. Spend some time just noticing the breath and how it feels, whether it feels long or short, whether it feels laboured or comfortable. There's no right or wrong, and there's no need to control the breath. Just take some time with it, noticing how it feels for you right now. If you find that your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. See if you can notice the point where the breath starts, the point where it finishes. Remembering there's no need to control the breath, just allow it to be as it is right now for you. So we're going to stay with this breathing activity for a short while. If you find that your mind wanders, just gently allow it to come back to the breath. Noticing how it feels right now, this moment. So when you feel ready, start to open your eyes, gently return back. So the next activity we're going to do is to do mindful activity using textiles and trying to get you to engage your senses to look at the textiles in a different way. But not only just look, but to use all of your senses in to notice what's really going on with your textiles. So with the item that you chose earlier, whether it's a piece of fabric or a garment, if you find that now and come and get hold of it And the first thing we're going to do is spend some time really looking at our textile. So we might look at the print, if it's a printed textile, or if there's any embellishment or embroidery or any stitching on it. You might look at that. So you might notice where the repeat pattern is, if there is one. You might notice the way that the light reflects on the textile, if it's a satin or a silk, whether you can see any light reflecting on it. And then give yourself a chance to look closely at the textile. So bring it close to your eyes so you can maybe see the weave or the knit. Or if it's a non-woven fabric, if it's felt, you might be able to see the fibres that it's made up from. Actually take time to look at it and to really examine the fabric and how it looks. Maybe if it's a item of clothing, you might notice the stitch on it as well as the textile that it's made from. Maybe there are different parts to the garment that use different textiles. Just spend some time really looking at your textile. And then when you're ready, start to notice how it feels. So it might be soft, it might be fluffy, it might be sort of crinkly, it might be smooth. Just see what it feels like. Maybe rub it between your fingers and your thumb. Or even if you want to, if you feel comfortable doing so, sort of bring it up to your face. Maybe see if somewhere soft like your cheek, see if it feels different when you rub it against there. Just spend some time sort of examining it. Maybe you want to rub the textile together to see how that feels. Just spend some time having a look and noticing what you can sense, what you can feel. Then when you're ready, bring it up to your ear and see if there are any sounds that you can hear. So for this one, I can definitely hear a little bit of a crackle as I'm rubbing the fibres together and the weave together, but you might not hear anything. Whatever is there for you right now is the main thing. It will be different for every textile that you do this with, and for every time you do it, you'll probably notice something just slightly different. Just being aware of what you can sense right now. And then the next thing we're going to do, looking at our next sense, is to smell the textile. So it might be that if you've got a felted fabric, you might be able to smell some lanolin from the wool. Or if you always use a special wash powder, you might smell that. Just see what you can notice when you smell it. See if there is anything. There might not be anything. You might just smell the textile itself. You might just smell nothing. Or you might smell something really distinctive, maybe something that brings back memories, maybe something that you recognise that you'd forgotten about, or maybe nothing at all. Once you've given that a go, then return back to sort of having a look and a feel at the textile. Spend some time really appreciating what you can see, how this textile is unique to other ones that you may have. So it might be that you look again at the pattern on it. You might just spend some time looking at how, if you move it about, how the light changes on it. Just enjoy having some time with your textile and what it feels and looks like for you right now. So it's trying to stay present with your textile, with the item that you're looking at, being aware and being present with it in this moment. I think that this is a really, really nice way of sort of appreciating the things that we have in our home all the time. So things that we might see as everyday items. It's just taking that little bit of time to sort of look at them. So maybe if you've enjoyed doing this activity, maybe this is something that you might want to do with some of the textiles that you use every day, maybe with your clothes, maybe with items that you have in your home, maybe you have a favourite cushion or a throw that you use. Just actually spending time appreciating the pattern and the senses that you can get from your textile. If you are a textile practitioner and you make your own textiles, it might be a nice way of looking at the things you make in a different way and sort of really being able to appreciate the different textures and feel of the garment or the textile or the fabric that you have. So I hope you've enjoyed these two mindful activities. And if you want to check out any of the other projects that I'm working on, you can always check out my website, which is janehowroyd.co.uk. And there's lots of other activities and things on the Woven website as well.